The road through the forest was quiet when I started driving, but soon, heavy snow began to fall. The steering wheel felt stiff in my hands, and the car crawled forward inch by inch. With each minute, the flakes grew thicker, until the headlights could barely cut through the white wall in front of me. I realized if I kept pushing on, I might not make it home at all. I would only end up stuck, buried somewhere in the middle of nowhere. So I pulled over at a small clearing, turned off the engine, and stepped out into the storm. The cold hit like a wave.
I knew then, tonight I wouldn't be driving home. Tonight I would have to survive the blizzard right here.
I opened the trunk, dragged out my backpack, and spread a tarp across the snow. Tent poles rattled in my hands as I pieced them together.
My fingers were numb, every knot stiff to tie, but little by little, the frame took shape. When the last corner was secured, a small tent stood against the storm. A fragile fortress, but enough to keep me alive.
Inside, I unpacked my old folding stove. Scratched, dented, but reliable. Then I set the chimney in place. All I needed now was wood. I split the logs into smaller sticks, knowing damp wood would need patience and steady heat.
Then the moment came. A spark. A flicker. A fragile flame.
At first it trembled like a candle in the wind, but slowly it grew, roaring to life.
Snow melted in a pot, turning to steaming water. I dropped in tea leaves and let the fragrance fill the air.
But tonight called for more than tea. I needed a hot meal, something strong enough to chase the storm away. Next, I take the beef and rub it with salt, pepper, and a touch of garlic powder.
On the hot pan, the meat hissed instantly, golden edges curling as a rich aroma filled the tent.
The sound of sizzling beef drowned out even the howling wind.
Sitting cross-legged in front of the stove, I took the first bite. The beef was tender, juices rich with garlic and pepper, vegetables sweet and warm. The tent walls glowed with firelight, and in that fragile space, I felt like the happiest person alive. After eating, I cleaned the pan, stacked fresh wood beside the stove, and rolled out my sleeping mat. The bright red sleeping bag lay across it like a flame in the dim shelter. Curling inside, I listened to the storm scream against the canvas.
Sleep came slowly, wrapped in the rhythm of crackling fire and swirling wind. Each ember in the stove wasn't just heat, it was strength.
Proof that even in the fiercest storm, life could be warm and steady.
I realized survival isn't just about skill. It's about patience, persistence, and finding joy in the small victories.
beef was tender, juices rich with garlic and pepper. In that fragile space, I felt like the happiest person alive. After eating, I cleaned the pan and stacked fresh wood beside the stove. I rolled out my sleeping mat. The bright red sleeping bag lay across it like a flame in the dim shelter. Curling inside, I listened to the storm scream against the canvas. But I wasn't afraid. Each ember in the stove wasn't just heat, it was strength.
Survival isn't just about skill. It's about patience, persistence, and finding joy in the small victories.
The physics are simple. A dome shape is essential for surviving these extreme winds. It allows the air to flow around the structure.
Adjusting the secondary air damper increases airflow directly into the combustion zone. This ensures a hot, clean burn.
We rely on the thermogenic effect of protein. Eating this heavy meal now is a biological necessity to stay warm in minus 59 degrees Celsius.
Moisture management is critical. If you sweat in these temperatures, the moisture freezes, leading directly to rapid hypothermia.
In the face of death, the mind is your most powerful tool. A simple cup of tea can be the anchor that prevents panic.
The mountains don't care if you're ready, but you should be. You don't realize how much the cold takes out of you until you stop moving. Every calorie I ate last night was just to stay at baseline. Nature isn't your enemy,
but it isn't your friend either. It's just there. If you respect it,
Aim for that gap between the trees. We'll follow the ridge line to avoid getting stuck.
True Phil starting the player Sonic Brown, so I'm just gonna prep start away. Stormy on various are brown.
in this cold, even the water is a hard-won prize. Every drop starts with a flame.
Survival isn't just about the big storms. It's about the small fires you keep burning every single night.
The storm left, but it took the last of the warmth with it. Today, the real work begins.
mountains don't ask for permission to be cold. They just are. And I'm still here. In the deep freeze, every night survived is a victory. The mountains wait, and so do I. The snow tries to bury you, but if you keep digging, you find the world is more beautiful than when you started. You take care of the cabin, and the cabin takes care of you. That's the deal. Out here, you're never truly alone. The forest has a way of reminding you who really owns the land. It's the small repairs that keep you alive. Out here, a tiny hole in the wall is just an invitation for the mountain to come inside.
You don't just survive the mountain, you build a life within it, one piece of wood at a time.
The mountain takes what it wants, but it gives back too. You just have to be here to see it.